First exercise we're going to do is a basic sit-up. So I've got a piece of carpet, you can use a towel or mat, whatever you have available. So I'm going to sit down on the ground, lie down, tense, squeeze, contract the abs, and crunch up. Squeeze it as hard as you can. Tense, squeeze, crunch. Tense, squeeze, crunch. Tense, squeeze, crunch. Tense, squeeze, crunch. And you're going to do that for 60 seconds. Now it is super important to tense, to squeeze, to crunch. And the harder you tense, squeeze, contract your abdominal muscles, the more muscle fibers you're going to rip, therefore the better gains you're going to get. If you just sit up without using your abs, you're using your hip flexors and it's defeating the purpose of doing it. So that's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is lying leg lifts. So, lying on the ground, feet together, hands to the side, use your abs, tense, squeeze, and raise. And then lower your feet down to the ground without touching. And then back up. And then back down to the ground without touching. And then back up. And you're going to do this for 60 seconds. Now the reason we're not touching the ground is because as soon as your legs, as soon as your heels touch the ground, you deactivate the abs. We want to keep the stress and the tension on the abs, because the more tension and the more stress on the abs, the more muscle fibers we're going to rip, therefore the more growth we're going to get. So then when we do lose the body fat and get lean, the more definition we will have with the deeper cuts. Alright, third exercise, and that is planks. So for a plank, we're going to lie on the ground like this, elbows on the ground, hands on the ground, toes on the ground, and then we're going to lift the body up like this. I'm going to hold that position. I'm going to tense the abs as hard as we can. We're going to focus on sucking your stomach in, basically trying to get your belly button to touch your spine. Now holding that position activates a deep core muscle. This deep core muscle is called your transverse abdominis muscle, also known as a TVA. Now a tight TVA is responsible for pulling your abdominal wall back, so preventing your stomach from protruding forward. So a tight TVA will actually help in keeping your stomach flat, keeping your core tight. So it's a great and very effective ab exercise to do. Fourth exercise is reverse crunches. So it's similar to a normal crunch, except we're doing it reverse. So, going to lie down on the ground. With our abs, we're going to crunch our upper body towards our body, and we're going to lift our hips into the air. Crunch, 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 crunch. So our hips are coming off the ground on every rep that we do, and that right there is a reverse crunch. That is exercise number 4, and we're going to perform that for 60 seconds also. Last and final exercise is another one we're doing lying down, and that is called flutter kicks. Now this is a great exercise. We're not really performing a rep as such. We're doing flutter kicks with our legs, and this is effective because we are holding the abs under an isometric contraction. So before we did the lying leg lift, which is contracting the abs. This time we're doing flutter kicks. So it's just like this, and the abs are tensed and contracted under an isometric contraction. Again, we don't want our heels to touch the ground. We're going to do that for 60 seconds, and once you've got your 60 seconds, we're done. And there you go. That is 5 ab exercises. Each exercise, you don't need any equipment at all, and each exercise is done for 60 seconds. Now I want you guys to try this workout at home. I want you to do this and repeat each one of these exercises for 3 times. What I would advise you to do is do each one of the exercises. I'll put them on the screen right here, and then repeat that circuit 3 times. And that right there is a great beginner's 6-pack abs workout. However, what you must remember, guys, in order for your abs to show and in order for them to be visible, you must be lean.